Welcome to the next video of React and Node series. So in the last video we saw how to create a user authentication, and in this video we will see how to create a web API, like how to create an API that will help us into a CRUD operation like put, post data, update data, delete data, okay, create data, and all that. Simply say create, update, delete, the CRUD operation. Okay, so if we go to the file that we were in, and now I have a data directory here, correct? And if we go to data schema, there is a schema for that. Okay, right now I'm closing it. I don't need that. I need this index. So here if you see, I have a very simple format of it, but yet very very much working, and what can I say, very efficiently working. Not that much efficient of a pro coder, but yes, efficient working direct Node.js code. So what's happening here is, let me explain you from the schema side. First, we all know that schema. See, here is a I have used another thing called timestamp. See, timestamp. Schema is, as I told you earlier, schema is nothing but providing an information for the type of the for the type of the value here. Uh, Schema is nothing but the information that is provided for the type of the value, and not much of a typical work actually. Okay, not much of a typical thing. It's just it provides what type of value you will be using. Like for name, string; for email, it will be string; and for mobile, it will be number. Again, there will be a timestamp which is not required in the like in a front end view. It's not required, but there is a requirement of it in the back end actually. And because that's timestamp always going to be unique, because every second time is changing, right? So time is changing every second, so there is always a there is always a requirement for a unique verification, and timestamp can be that unique verification. Now schemas are done. I just told you how to work with schemas. First import mongoose, and to import mongoose you have to install mongoose. And I think you know, I have told you how to install mongoose. And after that, just create a new scheme, just create a new schema variable using, and then start the constructor function with new mongoose.schema and create the object, then store it in a variable and then export that variable. Simple. And when you are storing that variable, use mongoose.model and create a key pair value for that object, or that schema object. Okay, now let's go to index.js. Here in index.js you'll see that there is a what can I say, normal things is actually what we did in the authentication directory. Same things are here, like express require express, mongoose require mongoose, like very important modules which are required for us. And const, yeah, here are course cross origin reach, I don't remember the name fully, I always forget the name, a very long name. And then the table data here, that's the schema actually, user schema. See, data schema folder where the schemas are set. Now I have always told you that whenever we are using Express.js, we have to use or we have to import that value sorry, you have to use that as a function for, because you are going to create a function here, and that function is now going to do a chaining process. See, app is right now a express function that is going to check the availability of everything and connection everything. Okay, so here we are checking whatever is present, and in app, see, where we are using app.use course like this, because we need to understand that course will be handling the errors and showing us what kind of changes and what kind of place bases can be done, and if anything happens to the API, course will say that it doesn't follow the course property, and so that we can maintain the API much more better. And here is app.use a express.json. So what happen is, what's happening here is we are changing this response into JSON, nothing else. Okay, now Mongoose, as I told you, Mongoose is imported, so Mongoose is connected. Now it's going to connect to the URI that is here, and then it's going to listen to the port that I'm providing, that is 8008, or whatever port name. It must be more than 3000, remember that. And then start the get method. Now see, here we have, yeah, app.get asynchronous. See, in every aspect we are using asynchronous function, request and response, try and catch block, async and await, S- simply so that we want to get ahead in this code. And see, I told you Node.js is a non-blocking IO, correct? So Node.js is non-blocking IO. Because of that, uh, that means that this asynchronous code will keep running, even though all the synchronous code have been completely interpreted, completely run, and their execution is totally complete. Until and unless this asynchronous code is executed, they will keep running, and other than that, other codes in the JavaScript will complete, their execution will be completed. And after these executions of the asynchronous codes are completed, there will be a post, or like whatever the output will, there will be a result of that output. Now see, here I have also done the same thing. I set up a response, and set up a status, and provided it's a JSON format output status. Okay, so where it will show us that if it's success, then it's okay, 200. If success, then success is always 200. Okay, and message will be server is running, data will be data user database. That means whatever the data is coming here, see, name, string, email, okay, mobile name, mobile, email, all these, and this data or user data, whatever you say, data is also the same thing. Whatever data you are posting or whatever data you are providing here, it's actually the posting of the data or the add of the data that we are doing. For example, I am doing a CRUD operation. I add a to-do list. Where I think we have all we have made a to-do list in React, so we know. And then here comes the post data. Okay, so the get data is completed, and always remember these are paths which we use to check the data of the localhost or any type of hosting link you are using. So this get method, get path will be there. Okay, name it anything, but yeah, remember whenever we are using that link, this path has to be mentioned in that link whenever you are checking the data is there or not. And after the get, there is a post. See, in the post we always take a request body. Okay, why? Because request body is very important in the post data. And we always change this data into a new data format, because every time I am posting a data, a new data will be created, and that created data will just change that data into a another data. So what will happen is everything that is based on that data, there will be a new interaction of it, so that the one object doesn't become equal to or identical to the another. And then a same thing, response 200 success, new data, and all these data will be stored, showing that what the data are there. Now put is something that we have to keep in mind because it works on the ID. Okay, and ID is, I think, yeah, ID is what is the we are using request params, and this request.params, what it does, see, it's written query strings, para qs, past qs, sorry, request strings, id is a string. So what it's doing here is it's providing us a parameter work or property work, you can say, to the id. And the after that we are using that updated user id. See, updated user is nothing but the set of the object that we have right now. Okay, it's just the simple set of the object that we have right now. And here, see, this model is also the same thing, but it's just showing that how we are changing the updated data and making it what can I say, updated data, and making it a new font, sorry, not new font, but a new object whenever we changing at the data. Okay, and whenever we facing whenever we posting a data. Correct. And this dollar set, always remember, see, whenever I'm hovering over it, it's showing me the property of the set. What it is? It's a property of MongoDB. Okay, it's a MongoDB property which is used. There are some also properties, dollar update and something like that. There are, so which affects the MongoDB database. And after that, it's completed. We await for the data. We await for the data to be updated. Then same thing, request, sorry, response send, success 200, message successfully, data updated. Okay, and delete also works on the same thing. Delete also works on the same thing. It works on the ID. And see, whenever we are working right now in the with the ID, and see, I have taken ID as the params, so params ID. Okay, so whatever the ID that was provided here, this ID, the created here, or basically said this point. So that ID, we are taking that ID as the new request ID params. Okay, and after that, we have, since we have to delete that user, what we are doing that this ID delete one is, when you are clicking that delete, if that ID, I'm clicking that ID and it's matching the same, that's when it will be deleted, or else it will be not deleted. See, it's a property providing here, and the value is string, completely same. And remember, these things should be similar to the API ID that you have provided. And delete one is just a property to delete one of data from the server. That's all. And this is my request, this is my CRUD operation backend data, so backend operation. And this is how it is working for the for the post, create, and put and update. Not update, but delete. Put is the update, delete, post is what we post, like we're adding data to the table. And this is put, that means we are updating the data in the table. And this is delete. I think you understand what the delete means. So this is the back end of the uh, project, and I will now show you front end to make you understand what is the work of JW token in the next video.